See me a little bit better. All right, so American, to be American, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what it's like to be American because it certainly doesn't feel like people think I'm American because I don't look fucking white. Simple as that. And it sucks because I was born here, but I also don't speak like perfect English because it's not my first language. So to people that look, I live in California, so in California it's like all mixed, you know. I grew up here my whole fucking life. I'm 46 years old. I only remember living in San Marcos and Escondido, California, right? And gone to like, I've lived in Pacific Beach, and I like to go to the beach in Carlsbad. And everywhere you go, you got different kinds of people, right? You go to a Carlsbad, you have a bunch of white people. Sure, there's Mexican and Arabs, but barely any. They're like, you can't really, it's mostly all white people. It's all American. So yeah, so the majority of the people that are in America, that are, especially when you hear white people talk about Americans, they're talking about white people. They're not talking about Mexican people that were born here like myself, or black people that are here that, you know, you're thinking that the black people who are in America say I'm American, and I could be saying the same thing because I guess I'm American. Definitely don't feel American, and just because you come from another country and you become a citizen, it doesn't make you American. I know a lot of people here that are fucking from different countries have been here only like 5-6 years, and they're still not American, and they'll never be American. And they'll never be American because they didn't grow up they didn't go to the schools that we go to. And here's another thing: you take American people, black people that live in Long Beach, and you compare them to American people who fucking grew up in San Diego, completely different black people. That's what you get. You're like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, fucking, what's that guy, Will's name, or Will or whatever. And you don't get like a whole lot of like ghetto ass fucking black dudes. The only way you get that is from people wanting to be that. So if you run into people in San Diego and they're like, fucking sounding like the people in LA, is because that's exactly what they are. A bunch of fucking wannabes from the hood. And now you go down to fucking places in LA, then yeah, you're gonna run into some shit, because that's just the way it is there. But not where I grew up. Not in San Marcos and Escondido. You grew up with a bunch of Mexican people. Well, they're American, but they're Mexicans, and they still think different than white people, right? The white people, they're not out here. They're not really racist. It's weird. You see all these racist people. I see a bunch of racist people on TV, but I have a shitload of white friends, and they're not racist. But we went to the same schools. But anyways, I just keep hearing all these different kind of people, and they just sound stupid to me. I've seen black dudes get on here, white dudes get on here, Mexican dudes get on here, and talk about fucking them being Americans, and fucking like follow. Nobody fucking follows the fucking rules here. Not even the fucking Americans. White people do follow the rules more than black people and more than Mexican people. That I can tell you. All right, they don't go out there and gangbang and start shit, and you know what I mean. And I got a lot of black friends that are like military, went to the military. I don't think they grew up in like Long Beach. I don't hear it. You know what I mean? Now, nothing against the all the homies and all my black friends too that are a little ghetto. So what? I'm a little ghetto too. I try not to be, but it is what it is. I'm just giving you what I see. What I see, and I see a lot of bullshit like online, and it's because these people are becoming famous of the shit that they're saying. And it's not bad as it's said here. I don't know. I don't live in New York. I don't see a bunch of Muslim dudes like praying all over the place around here. You know what I mean? And then you see all these people who say they're Christians, and then they're over there just saying all this bad stuff. They're pretty much throwing stones, you know, just because the people are Muslim. I get it, you know. Muslims have a bad rep, and the Muslims need to know that, you know. And there's no way of uniting people unless both religions go half and half. Simple as that. It's not bad to pray. You can pray. Everybody should pray like the Muslims to God. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be in the middle of the street. I'm just saying, when you're at home, you should get on your knees and if I can ask for forgiveness. And it's something that we don't always do, but you did it when you were a kid, you know. So that's okay, you know, to pray, you know, to a higher power, because there is a higher power above all of us. And we should all be looking at each other like brothers, you know, brothers and sisters. We should be respecting our women. We should be respecting other people's wives, you know. You don't have to respect every woman. I mean, if you're a girl doing OnlyFans, I mean, you can only get so much respect. I'm just saying, you know. I still respect you. I'm just saying, I wouldn't respect you as much as a Christian girl. And what I mean by respect is like the verbal that I say, nothing like hitting or nothing like that. I mean, like, respect as in, am I gonna cuss at you or am I not gonna cuss? If I speak to like a Christian girl, you know, or somebody that's not saying bad words, I'm not gonna try not to say no bad words, you know. And if I did, I'm probably gonna apologize. But if you are, like, you know, just kind of all out there or whatever, then yeah, I probably still won't say nothing. You know, I don't really hate. But anyways, there's a saying that, you know, someone said a long time ago, and it was, "Can't we all just get along?" And that's just the fucking truth, man. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we get along? And the reason is because everybody thinks they're above somebody. And it doesn't have to be everybody, but everybody thinks they're above somebody. And I think that's maybe the problem. Like, we're not above anybody, you know? We're definitely not above the law. And the laws are made for a reason, is to keep everything in order. Nothing wrong with the law. There is something wrong with enforcing the law, and in the way you enforce the law and what kind of outcome you put out, you know. And if you're going home after enforcing the law and keeping the peace, and you're just a piece of shit person, ICE or cop, and you can sleep with yourself at the end of the night, whether you're whatever race or whatever, I mean, that you're gonna have to deal with God in the end, you know. And God measures every little thing. Now imagine every fucking big thing that you do, what the measure for that will be. And when I say God, I mean God. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You're a Muslim, if you're a fucking Christian, if you're Jehovah's Witness, if you're anybody that believes there's a higher power and a creator and somebody that put all this for us to figure out, and then, you know, and then the devil came in, you know, made all kinds of stories up, and everybody believed it. Imagine. How hard is it to live in peace? How hard is it to be nice to somebody? How hard is it to just say what's up, or say, you know? Is it that hard? I do bad things all the time. I always flip people off, cuss people off. And even I know there's a God, and I sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes tell myself I should be a little nicer. But I'm definitely not as bad as, like, more than, fuck, I don't know, man. I would like to say that I'm better than, in as far as kindness, I am kinder than, I don't know about other places in the world. I don't know how they are, but even in California, in Escondido and San Marcos, I am kinder than more than half of everybody I've ever known. And what I mean by kinder is, I'll give my last dollar to somebody before I spend it on myself if I see somebody is in need. You know? And I've been doing that since I was a kid. Sometimes I don't do it because I'll look at somebody and be like, nah, the guy's where he's at, because that's where he's at, But if I do have money and I do feel bad for someone and I see that, they're in a tough situation, then I will bring my walls down and I will, openly give somebody a hug, and tell them it's okay, you know. But now I'm just getting upset. I'm just getting upset of everything that I'm seeing in the news, all the stupidity, things that are going on in the world. This fucking president of ours is fucking just, look, if everybody could forgive that piece of shit, then it's fine. We can forgive him, but he needs to ask for forgiveness is the problem, and that's why he has so many people that don't like him, because if he did do bad things to little girls and stuff like that, well, either way, God, you don't have to deal with that with God. I mean, it's neither here nor there. But what is fucked up is the way people are being treated and the like animals. I don't know if you guys, I've been to jail, and I thought that when I went to jail, the way they fucking treated me, I felt that like you just feel like nothing. You realize you're fucking nothing, and so that straightened me out a little bit, and I said I never want to go to jail again. I decided to move forward in life and stop with the bullshit, but the shit you see now, with just everybody being treated the same, like if everybody's a criminal, that's not cool. I don't know, I think different ways, I could say you should fucking get rid of all these Muslim people. We should, do this, do that, because down deep inside, I know it's not right what they're doing, but at the same time, it says that God wants us to find a way to love each other, even them, and that's what separates, I would say, somebody that believes in Christ versus somebody who believes in Muhammad, and that part pisses me off, because as somebody that does believe in Jesus Christ, it's tough to not really say what the devil wants you to say, or what the devil wants, because I'm definitely hearing what the devil wants me to hear, but my response should always be more towards the good than the bad, because if I died today, if I died right now, I would hate to give somebody the wrong advice, the wrong, I would hate to die and then have to face Jesus right afterwards. I would hate that. I would curl up like a little girl. Simple as that. Ask him to forgive me. Anyways, I'll give Maduro some advice from Venezuela. He needs to just turn himself in before he ends up dead, because the way it's looking like right now, not only will he die, a bunch of other people will die for no fucking reason, for no, will lose your life. It's like people in Ukraine have been losing their life for fucking no reason, and the reason Russians have been losing their lives for no fucking reason, all because of fucking the devil's pawns. Simple as that. These are all the devil's pawns. All of them. There's absolutely no control whatsoever.